Hey guys, today I'm really excited to do the unboxing and test out a new guitar pedal I just bought. So this is the Tubesteader Lightkeeper. This is made by a small company in Canada. I believe they're located in Montreal. I think it's actually just a one-man shop right now, or maybe two people, but it's a really small boutique company. So Tubesteader is not that well known of a pedal company, but they are located up here in Canada and hand make all their pedals. I think what makes them interesting is they focus on tube pedals. So all their pedals have tubes in them for the preamp to power them, and they're based off of famous amp designs. I think another one that's actually based up here in Canada as well that also uses tubes, I think it's called Kingsley, and that also tries to copy the Dumbo tone. So yeah, that's what this pedal does. The Lightkeeper is based upon the I think this pedal is meant to sound like the clean channel of a Dumbo overdrive special amp, which is a very famous, very expensive amplifier. A lot of Dumbo pedals have been made. Most of them are meant to either emulate the overdrive special or the steel string singer. This one in particular is meant to emulate the clean, I think, channel of the overdrive special, which is interesting. So yeah, I mean, I saw a few reviews of this online, and I figured, hey, might as well take a look. I'm actually looking for a pedal that is trying to get that Dumbo clean sound. So it seems like a lot of the Dumbo pedals that are out there, I mean, there's so many that are based upon the overdrive special, right? That's probably the most popular Dumbo amplifier. So yeah, there's the original, I would say, pedal that emulates the Dumbo ODS, which is the Hermida Zen Drive. It was actually built for Robin Ford, and it's very, very popular, but there's also so many, right? J-Rocket, the Dude, Way Huge, made one, I think Wampler Euphoria, I have that one, actually. The Vertex Ultraphonics, Mad Professor Symbol. There's another company up here in Canada called Kingsley, which actually makes a lot of Dumbo type pedals as well. They're competing with Tubesteader actually. Tubesteader themselves make the Beekeeper, which contains the overdrive channel of the ODS Special, in addition to the clean channel, which is what the Lightkeeper is. There's the Ethos Overdrive, the G-Town Holy Grail, all the Dumbloy pedals out there, the MXR Shinjuku Drive. Like, yeah, there's so many pedals based upon the overdrive special, and some based on the steel string singer as well, which is more of a clean amplifier, like the Vertex steel string, the J-Rocket, Lenny. I think there's a Greer Special Request. Like, yeah, those are all based upon the kind of clean setting of the Dumbo. This one's kind of unique. It's based on the clean setting of not the steel string singer, but the overdrive special, which is interesting. So anyways, very, very excited to look at this pedal from this company here. Yeah, first of all, they gave me the AC adapter in a separate box here. So yeah, it looks like it only comes with, oh, this one, of course, it's a US adapter, huh? Well, it's cool that you can swap them out, but they didn't give me any other like adapters here, so it's nothing for Europe or Asia or Australia or something. Okay, anyways, let's put this guy in. Alright, so yeah, that comes in a separate box. Alright, well, let's look at the pedal itself. Ooh, okay, so this is what it looks like, the Lightkeeper. Yeah, again, it's tube powered, so Class A runs a 12AX7 tube in the preamp section, as a lot of tube powered pedals do. I actually used to own a tube powered pedal, which is the Maxon TOD9 and TB09. I own them both. Both of them actually used a Raytheon sub-miniature tube to power the pedals, so I didn't actually get one with an actual 12AX7 powering it. So this is a full-size 12AX7, not a sub-miniature, powering this pedal, and that's why it's so big, actually. So yeah, this pedal itself, it looks very well built. And what else we get? We got the Tubesteader sticker. We got a couple of feet that we can put on the pedal, for the pedal board, and get a little message here. Okay, here we go. Lightkeeper 2 booster, light over. So this is meant, actually, I guess it's going to be sort of like my Maxon TB09 back in the day, which was a booster overdrive type pedal running powered partly by a sub-miniature vacuum tube. This one is going to be powered by a full-size 12AX7 though. So yes, it's a tube-based, all analog, all boost overdrive pedal. It's inspired by Dumbo's legendary clean channel with lush dynamics, touch-sensitive sound. I guess that's what the Dumbo tone kind of is. A lot of people, it's really hard to pinpoint actually exactly what the Dumbo tone is, because there's Dumbo actually made different amps for everyone. Every amp is a little bit different. But I think all the Dumbo pedals out there is trying to extract that very specific type of touch-sensitive feeling So like my Wampler Euphoria, for example, on the smooth channel, I think what it's trying to do is just simulate that kind of really smooth, creamy overdrive sound of the ODS Special. Of course, I have the Wampler Euphoria, so I no longer really need the overdrive channel, which is why I didn't buy the Beekeeper. But this one is meant to only simulate the clean channel, the ODS, which is really cool because I actually want to stack it with other overdrives as well. I have a MXR Timmy, Wampler Tumnus, and the Euphoria to stack it with. I love stacking overdrives, so that's part of the reason I got this one instead of the Beekeeper. In addition to the fact that it's cheaper. It's a portable tone palette that's perfect for enhancing the fast sounding amps. Sculpt your bass tone, so this one has a lot of knobs, looks like. So it's a pure analog Class A audio preamp, 12AX7 or ECC 83 tube, offering 250 volts, okay. 5-year warranty. Yeah. Okay, so this is, I think this has to use this AC adapter. I mean, I guess you could use another one, but it can't be one of those regular 9-volt ones. It has to be like kind of a specially powered one, I guess. And the same thing with the Maxon pedal, the 2 powered pedals I had before. They had to use their own AC adapter because usually when it comes to these 2 powered pedals, they can't just take a regular AC input. They usually use a very high powered adapter with their own adapter, basically. So there's the controls here. Yep, so you got volume, gain, bass, middle, treble, so 3-band EQ, boost, mid, FC, foot control of mid boost toggles, and bypass. Okay, yep, so I can connect to a foot switch. I don't have a foot switch though. Alright, anyways, what makes this pedal interesting, again, this is handmade in Canada. So it even says here, hand built in Canada, in Quebec, I think. And also, this is the most expensive pedal I've ever purchased. Yes, this is $250 US. That's very expensive. I mean, part of what you're paying for is the fact that this is a tube-driven pedal, and tube-driven pedals are always more expensive. They're more complex circuits and stuff. And the other reason is you're paying the boutique price, right? This is like hand-built by 1 or 2 guys up here in Canada. They don't sell a lot of pedals, so of course, since they're building this by hand, because of the economies of scale, they're not selling enough to make a profit if they don't sell it for a high price. So they have to sell it for a high price in order to actually make a profit. Can't compete with the big companies very much there. So yeah, this is a very boutique company, hand building them, and of course 2 powered. That's going to push up the price, right? So I guess their main competition is the Fectrode and Kingsley, which is another Canadian company that makes these 2 powered pedals based upon Dumble amps, actually. Alright, so let's go over this pedal. So again, the Lightkeeper is the clean channel section of the Dumble Overdrive Special. The overdrive section is actually included in the Beekeeper, which is their other model, which costs more money. That one's like $300 or whatever, but you get the other channel. This one's only for the clean channel, which can also go to the edge of breakup, I believe, as well. Yeah, so it's meant for clean boost or edge of breakup type sound, which is what I want. So yeah, you get your Class A circuit here, 12AX7 tube, full size, so it's a bit different than the Maxon 9 series tube pedal I owned before, which was a sub-miniature tube. This is a full size 12AX7, exactly as what you would see in a tube amp. That's powering the preamp section. You got volume right here, gain, 3-band EQ, so bass, mid, and high. Alright, so I got a little bit confused about what these 2 switches do, and I'm probably not the only one because of the fact that they're named switches. Like, most of the time when you see a pedal, it only has 1 foot switch, right? And they don't have names. So the fact that these are names, they actually confuse me. And there's 2 LEDs, right? So you think that this is kind of like a 2-channel type of boost thing, right? But it's actually not. Let me explain what this does. So if I'm reading the manual correctly, if you press bypass here, this is your standard on and off switch for the pedal, right? So obviously, just like with any other guitar pedal, you know, stomp on it to turn it on, stomp on it to turn it off, and everything you see here will engage, right, when pedals turn on. So for the boost and mid, right, if you have it set to on, then it'll add like a boost here, and then it'll like increase the mids here. So there's a mid shift and a boost. So if you have them both set to on and you hit this, then you'll actually hear a bit of a boost and a bit of like I guess a mid shift. if you leave them off, then it's really only controlled, you only hear this, like there's no boost and no mid. So the on and off of the boost and mid are pretty self-explanatory. Basically, you put them off if you don't want it, you put it on if you want it, and that's all controlled by this 1-foot switch, just like in a normal pedal. So the difference is when it comes to this other switch here. So what this other switch does is, if I'm understanding it correctly, if this is set to the FC setting, like not the on or off setting, if it's set in the middle setting here, the FC setting, pressing this on will basically be just like switching these two on. So it's equivalent to switching these two on. And why might you want that? Well, I think what the intention was is, say you're in a gig or something like that, and you know you're playing with your bandmates, or you're in a gig, or just practicing on your own. Like, just say you're in a setting where you only want to have the normal settings without any boost or mid. So basically it's equivalent to them off. But you also want to have a quick type of boost and mid shift right at your disposal. So instead of like turn your pedal off and then going to the on section, hitting this on, and then pressing the pedal on, that's like a lot of work to do. Like, say you're in the middle of a solo or something, you can't just do that, right? So I think what the intention was, you leave it here in this middle setting, and then you have this pedal on, right? You get your your clean channel here, but if you really want that boost in like the boost and the mid shift, like mid solo or something like that, then you leave it in this FC position here, and then you just hit the FC button instead, and not add the boost and the mid, like without having to go here and then switch it and stuff. So I think this is meant to be more convenient, right? So yeah, I think that's what it's for. Like, normally you have this on and you don't want to have the boost and the mid on. So yeah, you just leave in the FC position, which is basically the same thing as off. Like, having in the FC position with this thing not stomped on is basically the same thing as off here. And then if you do want to have the boost or the mid, then you stomp on this FC one, and then that'll basically is equivalent to both turning this on. So you can do that like in a mid solo or something like that, without having to go back and turn, like, fiddle with these pedals, I guess. Yeah, so I think that's easier than having to go down and fiddle with this pedal again, and then yeah, that's more convenient, right? Just hitting this foot switch instead of reaching down and then turning both of this to on. But basically it's the same thing, right? So hitting this foot switch in this FC spot is the same thing as not hitting the foot switch and just going down to the pedal and then just flicking these both to on. I think that's what it's meant for. So if I'm understanding it correctly. And yeah, it looks like you can also swap out the tubes as well for another brand of tubes. Not tried that yet. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's got 2 different LED indicator lights for each of these foot switches. So yeah, it's nice to have this extra convenience, I guess, without having to reach down to the pedal to flick them both on. You can just hit this 1-foot switch. Side mounted jack, that's actually pretty important because my whole pedal board is side mounted, which means I don't want to use any top mounted jacks. I could, but it kind of messes up my pedal board. So that's why I can't use any pedals from Vertex or J-Rocket or PRS, Seymour Duncan, or Strymon, because they're all top mounted pedals. So I'm only limited to side mounted pedals, which this pedal is. Yeah, I don't want to mess up my pedal board. Then you got DC adapter right here. Of course, I understand why this is not battery powered. It cannot be powered by a battery, and that's because it's a tube powered pedal, which I guess takes a lot of voltage and power. So I think if you do have battery powered tube pedal, then it's going to drain the batteries very fast. So I understand why it's DC adapter only. And yeah, this one has a serial number because it's hand built here in Canada by Tubesteader. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, DC adapter only because it's a tube powered pedal. So that's it. Can't wait to actually test it out, so let's stay tuned. Alright, to test out this pedal, I'll be using a setup that everyone should be familiar with, which is a Fender Stratocaster plugged into a Fender style amp, the Milkman 1 Plus. So yeah, this should be a very familiar American type sound. Right? It's a clean type sound because I have single coil pickups running into a Fender style amp. So yeah, you get very clean Stratocaster sound. So using the position 4 right now, I can use position 5 as well. Position 4 is usually what I really like. Alright, So yeah, the Lightkeeper is in my signal chain, kind of replacing my MXR Timmy right now. I'm sorry, MXR Timmy. The Timmy is a great pedal too, but yeah, basically this really was my overdrive boost pedal. And I used it to stack with all my other overdrives, and the Lightkeeper is kind of replacing that function. Because it's basically doing that same thing now, right? It's a clean boost overdrive that's going to be used for stacking mostly. So yeah, MXR Timmy was actually a really good pedal for stacking. So this is a great pedal for stacking on top of other overdrives and boosting your signal. Very transparent, but I'm going to test out the Lightkeeper in its place now. All right, so right now it's bypassed, so you're not hearing it in the signal path, although the tube is being heated right now because it's currently powered. So as soon as you power it, it's going to heat up the tube right there. So yeah, we're going to turn it on. So right now the volume I'm going to set to middle right here. 3-band EQ, I think it's simpler just to keep them all in the middle position here. Although I could turn it up just to show you guys, the difference. But yeah, right now everything's set to 12 o'clock. I'm going to turn it on. Right, so yeah, this confusingly named bypass setting, yeah, it's actually for turning the pedal on and off. So you guys hear that boost, right? So without it, so this is meant as a clean boost type right now, so I press it on. Not too much gain. It's kind of just a clean boost in. All I have on is just some reverb. Yeah, a little bit of reverb is all I have. I don't have any other effects in the chain. So without the pedal. With the pedal on. So obviously acting more as a clean boost right now, not coloring the signal very much. Very transparent type of booster. Although gain is set to 12 o'clock, so it does have gain, but it's not very much gain right now. Okay, if we increase now the bass, I'm just going to increase the bass, mids, and highs. Maybe you guys can hear the difference here. Everything should be kind of increased now. So it's equivalent to increasing, you're basically maxing out the bass, mids, and highs on your amp. Put it back. So now, right now, I have both the boost and mid switches set to the middle setting, FC, which is the same thing as basically having it off if I don't turn this one on, right? So if I flick it to the off position, it sounds exactly the same. Let's see, both off first. Then actually turn mid shift on first. You can hear what the mid shift does. Then the boost by itself on. Definitely boost the signal and add mid shift here to both. Definitely fattens up the signal, doesn't it? So yeah, so that's with the boost and the mid on. So now hitting the FC switch with the FC setting is the same thing as just turning them both on, right? So let's see. So just having them both on like this, right? The same thing as putting them in middle position and hitting this one on, same thing. So yeah, exactly the same. So it really, I think the only difference is if you want to hit it, like putting the FC setting, then just hitting this one is easier, right? It's more convenient. But if you always want to have the boost to mid on, then you can just leave it in the on position. It really depends what you want to do. Or if you just want to conditionally turn it on, then just leave in the FC setting. So yeah, a couple of these settings are actually exactly the same. So it's a little bit confusing to operate. But yeah, just know that if you have this in the FC position, then hitting this is exactly the same thing as just turning them both on. I would just put it in the FC position. It's a lot more convenient, right? It's from here you can basically do anything. If you just want to have it on, just hit this one, and if you don't want to have it on, just don't hit it. So it's that simple. So yeah, let's play a couple more licks. Just basically the same thing as having boost in the mid on. I think actually if you want to hit one of them off, then you'll only conditionally turn one of them on when you use the FC. So right now the FC switch only turns the boost on because I have this one set to off. So now I kind of understand why they have the off settings, because if you want to conditionally turn one of them off, then you can do that, or just have the mid shift setting. Okay, I understand why they have the offsetting now. The offsetting is if you want to conditionally turn one of these on or off when you hit the foot switch. So if you only want to have the boost on, then you just leave this in FC, then you turn the mids off. If you only want to have the mid shift, you leave this one FC, turn the boost off, and then hitting this will only activate one or the other. So I think that's what the off switch is for. Again, very, very complicated at first, but now I understand and I get it. Okay, so yeah, you want to have the mid boost and the shift and the mid boost, then you can do that. So it's very versatile. So now I'm going to try stacking it with some other overdrives. Okay, now the thing about stacking it with other overdrives is it's going to be pretty loud. So I've actually turned on my compressor here, so you guys, actually I don't wake up the neighbors or anything like that when I stack the overdrives. That's what I have to do to keep the sound to a reasonable volume. But yeah, I'm going to first stack the Wampler Tumnus, which is a Klon style overdrive, on top of the Lightkeeper, and then I'm going to try stacking the Wampler Euphoria, which is basically trying to emulate the overdrive channel of the Dumble OVDS Special, and on top of that. So then you basically, I think, will sound almost like a Beekeeper. I'm not going to say it's going to sound like a Beekeeper, but yeah, it's going to sound like the full Dumble overdrive sound. So anyways, first, yeah, let's turn on the Wampler Tumnus. This is adding a Klon type overdrive to the signal here. It's going to fatten it up. So it's going to add a little bit of mid-range shelving to the mix. Now I'm going to leave the boost in the mid off here. Just going to keep it the bass, without the mid boost, or without the mid shift and the boost, and just stacking the other overdrives. I'm going to have everything set to, on the Tumnus, set to maybe around 10. Yeah, let's try this. Okay, first actually off so you guys can hear the clean signal. Try a signal. You guys can hear the compressor is adding a bit of sponginess to it. But yeah, once I add so that's my clean signal, that's without the Tumnus. Now if I add the Klon, now you guys can hear it fattens it up. Add some mid-range shelving there. nice John Mayer type sound actually if you do a clon into this the Lightkeeper clean boost setting, because John Mayer was basically using a Dumble steel string into a clon and adding some other pedals onto that. You can kind of get like kind of a Mayer type sound like this. The Lightkeeper into a clon style pedal. That's actually really nice. So it's not like really high gain, but it does fatten up the tone. And yeah, I like how this pedal stacks very well with clon types. As you guys can hear. Okay, start off. adding a little bit more low end. That sounds a bit better now. I think it didn't have enough low end before, that's why. But now I added some more bass in to the yeah, I basically turned up the bass knob on the Euphoria. You guys can hear it. That's it. Yeah, I can hear the full double overdrive sound now. So yeah, now I have the Lightkeeper with the Wampler Euphoria. I get the full double overdrive sound now. Okay, same jam except with the Lightkeeper into a D-type pedal instead of a K-type pedal. Let's go. You hear how it sounds a little bit more creamy now? Instead of like the K-type had a nice mid-range shelving type of sound, really thick. But once I add the Euphoria, yeah, you can hear more of a creamy type of overdrive tone. so it seems like I can get the Dumble overdrive tone now if I stack the Lightkeeper with a Dumble like overdrive type of sound and a Klon type overdrive sound. So yeah, that's it. Let me know if you guys have any questions about the Lightkeeper. I think it's a really cool pedal. Yeah, I could definitely see it being very versatile. So I think it's, I mean, I really like my MXR Timmy, but I think this might replace my MXR Timmy now. It's just, yeah, a really nice clean boost and overdrive I can use to stack with my other overdrives. It sounds really good with my Tumnus, which is a Klon type, and also sounds really good if I added a little bit more bass onto my Wampler Euphoria. It sounds good with that as well, which is a Dumble type overdrive. So yeah, that's it, guys. Really nice, cool looking pedal. Definitely my most expensive pedal, but yeah, again, I think if you're looking for a nice, like, clean booster overdrive type of sound, very versatile, and stacks well with other overdrives, then might be worth it. I mean, these days, $250, I mean, it's expensive, but definitely a lot of boutique pedals are around that range as well. So do take a look at this one, because this one does justify the price. I mean, it does have a built-in tube, right, a full-size 12AX7, and very well made. So let me know. I think this is a keeper for sure.